All right, what's happening? Celtics fall in this one, 128-101 to the Houston Rockets. So the 3-game winning streak comes to an end. Celtics fall to 3-4 on the season as the Rockets move to 3-2 with a convincing win at TD Garden. Tom Giles, Chris Forsberg, Eddie House with you. And this one was all Houston right from the jump. They were up 18 at the half, Eddie. Extended that lead into the third quarter, and then you saw both teams empty their benches there for the fourth quarter. Your thoughts on this game?
That's a good question right there. I just thought that one team was playing at a different speed. I don't think that we matched their level of intensity, their physicality, and their energy that they had. And that could possibly have something to do with 5 games and 7 nights. You don't make any excuses. You got to tip your cap off to that team over there. Houston is a well-coached team. They are a hard-playing team, and they have something that they feel like they have to prove. And watching this game, I don't know if you guys know about the 5 heartbeats. You ever seen the 5 heartbeats?
I think you've asked me this before. I did not do my homework.
No.
Okay, so you never seen the 5 heartbeats. Okay, so they had me feeling like Eddie Kane Jr., you know what I mean? And nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. That's how I was feeling. I feel like Eddie Kane Jr. for a little bit because what I was watching was not the Celtic brand of basketball. And I think that everything had to do with what the Houston Rockets came out and did and what they was trying to prove and where they're trying to show themselves as being an upper echelon team in this league.
We're on to Utah. Look, I don't like giving a team an out. You should be more competitive regardless of what the schedule is. But I think we all knew going into this one how daunting the 5th game in 7 nights, second night of a back-to-back against a well-rested team that has championship aspirations. It was going to be difficult. And then that championship-level team comes out and shoots 61% on 3-pointers, knocks down 10 of 12 corner 3-pointers before, both sides pretty much waved the white flag. It's going to take a lot. Maybe you hope to get them cold. You hope to have a little bit more energy. They didn't have it. They went to the bench. Simons didn't have it. I'm not absolving this team. You've got to be better. But it also shows, thank goodness they went and got the other night in Philly because it could have snowballed on you real quick if you don't find those wins. They've got to be better. They've got to find when things are going wrong, something they can lean on a little bit more in instances like this. They got to certainly be better at taking away the 3-pointer from opponents. But that felt a lot like what the Celtics used to do to teams. And, man, the Rockets are really good. So give them credit for the mollywhopping they put on.
128-101, again, your final score. We got Scal and Drew joining us now from TD Garden. Fellas, your thoughts on what we saw tonight?
Wow. Just thorough. I mean, the thing with the Rockets is they have an identity, and it's really not 3-point shooting.
No.
But if they shoot the ball like that, it is going to be really hard to beat them. Whether or not the Celtics are on a back-to-back or not, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, they drive the ball, and you want to take away their driving lanes. And if they're making corner threes like that, they will win the championship. It's a long season. We were running in mud today. It's 5 games and 7 nights, back-to-back, all the things, right? And you wish they could fabricate something. I think they thought, all right, let's make this run here in the second quarter. It didn't happen. And I feel like every time that we would make some type of play, Houston would respond. So give them a lot of credit. I mean, that's a really good NBA team. Ime Udoka's a really good coach. Remember, they lose Fred VanVleet. They make Amen Thompson the point guard, and it looks great.
Yeah, they're just really good. And, we talked about it before the game, the difference in having 2 days off from the Rockets last game versus the Celtics playing in Philly last night, an intense game, probably didn't get back until late. I feel like we saw that from the jump, right?
Yeah, I mean, those guys were definitely motivated. They're a good offensive team, good numbers across the board. And they came out here and did the exact same thing. I've never seen this before. The Celtics shot 103 shots and Houston shot 77, and they still lost by 27 points. So when Joe talks about the shot margins, the Celtics did their job on that. But today, Houston just really shot it well, and there's really nothing you could do about that. And even this is really impressive from them. When they when we would turn the corner, we would break down their defense, a backdoor cut, a Jaylen Brown drive. They got another guy at the rim blocking your shot. So you talked about their identity. They doubled down into their identity, and that's going to really work out for them. They won a bunch of games last year, and they're much better this year.
They had 4 blocks from Jabari Smith, 11 as a team. The one thing that we really just need to watch as the season goes on is the free throw disparity. We showed you during the broadcast the Celtics are last in that stat coming into tonight, and the Rockets shot 35 free throws. The Celtics shot just 7, which is something that we're going to monitor as the season goes on. But Giles, I'm sure everyone's going to see those stats and be super reasonable and say the refs did a great job.
Well, not the story here tonight, that's for sure. You guys hit on all the big storylines there. Once again, the Rockets prove why they are an NBA title contender. Flex their muscles all over TD Garden tonight with that 128-101 win. We're going to take a quick break. Back with more right after this. 66-48 at the half. So the turning point really was the first half just in general. The rebounds probably don't tell the full story there because the Rockets weren't missing any shots and Celtics were. So that's why you see the rebounding margin. The 3-point field goals, 9 of 16 by the Rockets in the first half. Would you believe me if I told you they shot better from 3 in the second half? They did. That is factual information.
Only because it's art.
Let's get into the first half. Eddie, as you watch this video, what are your thoughts seeing it again for the second, third time?
Right there, I think that, D. White should be in the right spot. There's not a help spot at the nail right there. This right here is just a one-on-one move. You just win. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's a great move right there by KD, just jumping over the top. But then you leave the corner. There's nobody in. I mean, you couldn't even see nobody. There's another one. Way late. I think everything defensively, we were just a step slow, a step late, not on the same page. I mean, look at every shot that they were taking on those threes. Look how late the contest is, and look who they're shooting at. I mean, look who's shooting them. And so you would think you have a higher sense of urgency to guard that, and you can't guard that one though. So, and you can't guard this either. So sometimes it is what it is, but I think just our defensive discipline was a little bit off tonight. We weren't in the right spots, and they took advantage of it. I mean, the Rockets was a good basketball team, period.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about them adding KD here, and like how would it work, and how would he look, and what a luxury. As you got Şengün and Thompson, and all evolving into really, really good players, and you add Durant, who's just able to shoot over the top of everyone, is still just an amazing scorer at his age. It's like, I don't know. They're really talented. Left me a little nostalgic to last year where the Celtics had all that talent and where there's so many weapons. It's like, what do you defend? What do you try to take away? And then you add in the schedule stuff. And if you're running in the mud, you just have no chance against a team like that. So credit to the Rockets. I'm going to be super interested to watch sort of their trajectory this year and just how much they're in the mix. But it's clear, like when you watch them, it's like, wow, they've got all the pieces on both ends to really be something.
They do. And different night, maybe the Celtics are more competitive in this, and they'll meet them again at some point this season. Rockets were an absolute buzzsaw tonight, though. All right, time to hear what Joe Mazzulla thinks of it. The coach's press conference is presented by Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe Mazzulla.
Joe, it was pretty thorough what happened tonight. What do you take out of this as you're trying to build for, down the road?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't our night. Rockets played well. Good team, well coached. They were prepared. And this wasn't our night tonight. So to me, that happens over the course of a season. And so it'll be more important about how we respond on Monday at shoot around and into the game on Monday night.
Justin.
Joe, second night of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. Did you see fatigue as an issue tonight?
I saw the Rockets play really well and us not play so well tonight. So
There are probably some guys who haven't had as many opportunities that were excited about their potential chance for more minutes tonight. What did you see from that group in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, regardless if it's tonight or if it's 1 minute or if it's 3 minutes, they just have to continue to put great possessions together. Of the type of way that we want to play on the offensive end, and the execution and the effort that we have to play defensively. So, you take Baylor obviously has gotten better and better. He had some good possessions last night against Maxey, and then you're able to see kind of how he played tonight. I thought Jordan, even though he had a minute and a half in the New Orleans game, minute and a half in the Cleveland game, plays really well tonight. He did some good things. So just have to keep putting forth possessions so that we can continue to develop the way we want to play on both ends of the floor.
And with anyone who maybe it didn't go as they hoped, how much of their next opportunity is tied to how they respond to it compared to what you saw from them tonight?
Yeah, again, what matters is do they string together possessions regardless of what, if it's at the beginning of the game, the end of the game, it really doesn't matter. They just got to string possessions the way we want to play and just continue to build that trust.
Joe, you said it, like sometimes it's just a team's night. They shot 65% from three. When that's happening, like, how does your coaching mindset change, if at all? Like, as that is happening, as the lead builds, like, what are you looking for from that point on once the game does get away?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking for ways to change the momentum of that, whether it's putting together a couple stops in a row, whether it's offensive rebounds. I felt like they did a good job of not allowing those momentum run opportunities. I think the one small one that we did, they kind of nipped it in the bud right there. So, they managed that well, and that's what you're looking for, though. Can you string together a 6-0 run, an 8-0 run? Can you get a couple of those to kind of shift the momentum?
Thanks.
Gary, didn't know.
So they outshot you from the free throw line 35-7.
Yes.
That's 28 points. You lost by damn near 28 points. And it's becoming where the free throw disparity is piling up.
Yeah.
What can you do about that? Or is it the officiating? Like, what's going on with not able to get to the free throw line and then maybe the other team piling up free throws?
Well, I think, remember, we talked about that in the preseason. The free throw rate is going to be correlated to your turnover percentage, and so we forced 20 turnovers, right? So I think it's a combination of coaching the ones that you have to get better at, whether it's taking away an individual tendency, whether it's a bonus foul at the end of a quarter, whether it's because we had a breakdown in our individual defense and we're going to protect the rim. You have to define those. So there's always going to be that correlation between your free throws and your turnovers with the way that you want to play from a physicality standpoint. Offensive, I think it's the one you can control more offensively is getting to the line more and combating it that way.
And are you just going to have to be resigned to the fact that your opponent's probably going to shoot more free throws than you are?
I don't know if that's happened every game, but again, all we can coach is the free throw rate to the turnover percentage, because it's such a high valued opportunity of getting those, and you force 20 in a game. That's really good, right? But you have to coach the ones that you have to do better at. Whether it's to me, it comes back to the ones where you foul on tendencies, you foul on jump shooters, you foul because of an individual defensive breakdown.
Final question, Noah.
Joe, obviously you want to see rebounding defense from all these guys that are coming into the game. I'd imagine the criteria is pretty similar. For Baylor in particular, is there something that you're asking of him or as a coach or just hoping to see him do in his minutes?
I mean, I think he's done it. Again, I think in the Cleveland game, he had, whether it was 5 possessions, 2 possessions, it doesn't matter. We just need possessions of execution of what we want done. So he had, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 possessions on Mitchell. He had 2 or 3 on Max the other night. You just got to string together possessions of what we need and accomplish those and execute on those, and that just builds trust and it builds discipline, it builds a habit. So he's bought into that of these are the things that we need you to do, and the points are obviously it's a bonus, but the other stuff is way more important, and he's continued to work at doing that.
Are you talking about specifically defensive?
All right, so that was Joe Mazzulla. Let's jump right into the drain of the game, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ooh. Nimi Keita finding Derek White for the corner 3. D. White in this one, 1 of 5 from 3. Celtics trying to hang around on that one there by Derek White. That is your drain of the game. The steal of the game, which is brought to you by Stop and Shop with more than 10,000 items on sale every week. It's easy to make winning plays at Stop and Shop. Josh Minot with the steal, finding Nimi Keita.
Lawnmower is always a silver lining.
There you go. Bucket and one for Kate on this one.
Let me get that.
See the defense once again. Josh Mina had a few steals in this game.
That was your only free throw for like 30 minutes.
Until the defensive 3 seconds, maybe? Something like that?
It was a while.
I think, well, Peyton Pritchard had an and one at some point as well. Yeah. Anyways, Celtics get the and one on that fast break right there. The leading scorer tonight, Baylor Shireman, Eddie. He had 17 points on 6 of 7 shooting, 4 of 5 from behind the arc. What does this do for a player like Baylor Shireman to get some of those minutes and also to see some shots go in?
Well, I don't know what it's going to do for him moving forward, but I like the mentality. No matter what the score is, when you get put into the game, you go out there playing like it's a tie game. And you're playing your brand of basketball and you're doing what you do to show that, hey, man, I could be out here in the thick of things when it is a tie game, when we are down by 1 or when we are up by 5 or 6, that you could trust me to be out there. I thought he came out there and played with supreme confidence. Nothing that he did tonight was hesitant. Everything he did was with a purpose. And I like things like that from players. You don't play the clock, you don't play the score, you play the game.
If I had to nitpick one thing through the early part of the season, hasn't always been maybe going full throttle, maybe a little bit hesitant. Felt like tonight, maybe knowing you get a little bit more time, he's a little bit more engaged. Thought the shot falling is nice. We'll see how he kind of snowballs it from here. But the big question for me, Giles, is, of course, how are we feeling about that undershirt?
Fine with it. Whatever.
Sure.
If it helped the shot,
did you rock the t-shirt look at any point in the NBA days?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't like that. I don't like that. It just didn't feel good when I was shooting. So
sun's out, guns out.
Whatever works tonight, you know. If without that, this not a 27-point game. So Baylor Shireman knocking out a couple shots. Speaking of which, let's find out who won tonight's Tommy Award with Drew and Scal back at the Garden.
All right, Scal, that was not very fun, but who's getting the Tommy Award?
Well, you got to give credit to guys that came off the bench and still played hard. Baylor Shireman is the guy that really stood out to me. It's a long season. You're gonna need Baylor Shireman at some point during the year, and games like this could be a game where he could build confidence. He shot it well, and then I saw him defensively picking up. I really liked his move against Steven Adams going to the basket. It's like he got his swag back. Remember, he started slow last year. By the end of the year, we really liked him. We were excited about Baylor Shireman being part of this rotation. You know, a game like this could help him see the hustle plays, going to the basket, offensive rebound opportunities. So Baylor Shireman earned the Tommy Award today.
Yeah, and he was talking a little bit. I like that. He did get his swag back. 17 points for Baylor Shireman, a chance for the Celtics to bounce back Monday against the Jazz. We'll see you then.
All right, fellas, thanks so much. 128-101 again, your final score when we come back. Going to be moving on. Caleb Burton stepping in with Chris Forsberg. Because coming up next, we got Celtics postgame